Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Laura Lalaki, international real estate agent, and today we're talking about the heartbreaking situation of Wendy Williams. She's a media trailblazer who now finds herself in a battle for freedom and control over her life and finances. Wendy recently opened up about her health struggles, her living conditions, and what she describes as feeling trapped in a prison under court-appointed guardianship. We'll unpack the details, discuss the financial implications of guardianship, and examine how systems meant to protect can sometimes cause harm. Now, today I have a full and beautiful royal court. We have Minister Connie, entrepreneur, real estate investor, and author. We have Moya, our beautiful tax professional. We have Joe Corley, licensed therapist, mental wellness coach, and educator. We have Tiara Williams, producer and actress, and all the beautiful things. And Constance Carter, our wealth activist. Hello, team. I'm so glad to have you here today. We have a lot to unpack. And there is a lot of questions up in the air. And I'm sure that there's many, and that Wendy's never been my cup of tea, but I don't want to see anyone have to go through what she's going through. It seems like we're always hearing something about what's going on with her in the news. However, let's kick it off with this video about how her family has also been concerned about her guardianship. She does have guardianship with Sabrina, who is an attorney. Sabrina is not her family, but she is the one who's controlling Wendy's money, finances, everything. So quality of life. So let's check this out.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Charlemagne.
Peace, Wendy. And Wendy's niece, Alex, is on as well. Alex, you're going to be talking too, right?
Hey, Alex.
That's my niece, Alex. That's my niece, Alex. And Charlemagne and I, by the way, have known each other for like 20 years and running.
That is very true.
Wow.
Listen, Wendy, let's get right to it. I'm going to tell everybody what's going on. Wendy Williams is currently trapped in a conservatorship. If you don't know what a conservatorship is, it's when someone is in charge of making decisions on your behalf, but usually because the conservatee is not able to make decisions for themselves. Wendy can make her own decisions. She is not cognitively impaired. She is not incapacitated. She is being taken advantage of.
Right.
Sabrina Morrissey is her name. And right now, A&E Network, A&E Network and Lifetime were sued by Sabrina. She claims they exploited you in a vulnerable state. They exploited your condition, and I'm putting condition in air quotes. You signed to do that documentary without your consent, but A&E and Lifetime countersued and said that Sabrina realized the documentary would question the quality of her own guardianship. It actually says in the lawsuit, it appears that Morrissey is misusing her position as a guardian of Williams to silence criticism of her controversial and failed administration of the guardianship. They even used the words guardianship abuse. What do you think of that?
And what do I think about being abused? Listen, look. This system is broken. You know, this system that I'm in. You know, this system has falsified a lot. You know what I'm saying?
They said you're cognitively impaired and you're incapacitated.
Do I seem that way?
No.
You've been calling me 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks. No, you don't seem that way.
How dare
Okay, so that was her talking freely. She had an opportunity to talk freely, and let you know that she's not around Sabrina. This was not planned for Sabrina to be around. She had to kind of duck through some hoops to be able to call out and even be on this show. So my first question to all of you, and I will say yes to this question as well. Have you or someone you know ever been in a situation where they felt trapped or controlled by a legal or financial system? I will answer that yes. I actually had a family member who had to deal with her parents. And this happened. And matter of fact, there is a movie called I Care a Lot that I highly suggest to everyone to watch because it is right on target and it's on Netflix. So I'm going to start with you, Minister Connie. Have you or someone you know ever been in a situation where they feel trapped or controlled by a legal or financial system?
Not in my family, but I'm in the healthcare industry, so I see it a lot. There's a lot of family that takes advantage of their parent or their sibling that have guardianship over, and a lot of times it's abuse of money. So that's the number one issue that we have is abuse of financial authority.
Always boils down to money, because everything that my family member went through always went down to who's got the money, where's the money.
Right.
And all the conservatorships was, where are they hiding money, do they have this money, and didn't never ask about how this person's health was or anything but about the money.
Yes.
So I'm going to move up to you, to Tiara. Do you have someone that you know that may be struggling with that?
I've actually seen both sides where, I have a really, really good friend whose father was being abused by the family. He was diabetic. They had taken his leg. He was blind. And had him just in a room. They were just collecting the money, whatever it was that he was receiving monthly. And then, leaving him in the room, feeding him bull crap. He was literally on the verge of really like death. And so I saw someone, a really, really close friend of mine, take him and literally bring him back to life and not abuse him and make sure that he had everything that he needed. And, he was able to live maybe another 15 years after that. So, I've just seen both sides. So yes.
Yes. How about you, Constance? Do you have any experience with this at all?
No, I'm with Marilyn Seal. Those is rich people problems, and I don't know no rich people that got that kind of money to be put in conservatorship. So I haven't had that experience.
But you know what, though? This person didn't really have a whole lot either, but they had a pension, right? So therefore, that pension
I don't know people with pensions.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moya, I'm going to move that question to you, darling. Do you know or have any experience with this?
So on the tax side, people will come in with all of their documentation, almost not so much assuming their identity, but very much so taking control over it, sometimes with permission, sometimes without permission. So that's the side that I've seen it.
Yeah, because you would definitely see that on the side. Now, Joe, I left you last for a reason, because I know you do a lot of therapy. So do you have any experience with this with yourself or with anyone else that you know of, or any of your clients?
Yeah, I feel like in my personal life, I've seen people being taken advantage of, and definitely in sessions, especially when when you're talking about teens and things like that. This sounds very familiar in a way.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. So listen, we actually have some stats on like the percentage of conservatorships. And I want us to look at that because the numbers are actually kind of kooky and crazy high. I was really shocked at these. So the oversight issues in a 2021 study, 70% of court-appointed guardians were found to have insufficient oversight, leading to unchecked power over individuals' lives and finances. 70%, y'all. 70%. And in the case that I know of, that conservator was being very abusive to that person. And like I said, not even caring about anything about the health or anything like that. Everything was just, give me the money, give me the money, give me the money. And this goes unchecked. Now you have to understand it's also state by state. This is not a federal mandate thing. This is a state by state situation. And some states are worse than others. And I will tell you right now, Florida is number one, horrendous. So if you have parents, and why? Because most elderly retire to Florida. So you have a big gap with other states and what Florida and Texas and those southern states are looking at. So Constance, what are your thoughts on Wendy describing herself as living in a luxury prison? Can't hear you.
It was sad. It was really sad. I sat there and listened to the entire interview, and they lock her in. She's locked in like she's in prison. And you think about when you have prisoners that are in solitary confinement, what that does to them mentally. And so you already have her, she's not 100% herself, but she's sure cognitive enough to know what's going on and to have discussions. And then when they sent someone down there to see her, they wouldn't allow them to see her. They won't allow her to call out. It's terrible. And so when I think about that 70% statistic, that it goes unchecked, this lady is probably so used to abusing this system that this is just another, par for the course. I think she's already being sued or for mismanaging a $30 million estate. Like she stole $30 million. I think I saw on another website. So this is not new for this person. So
she's an attorney. She also knows the legal loops. So yes, you're right. This is not the only case that she's been dealt, but she also knows what loops she can jump through. Deborah says it happened to my grandmother by her daughter. Thank God we were able to get control and take good care of my grandmother like she deserved. So, you're hearing in our comments as well that people are experiencing this as well. So Minister Connie, do you think Wendy's experience reflects flaws in how guardianships are handled in the United States?
Most definitely, yes. That's a flaw. For her to not be able to have control of her liberty, that's a thing right there. She has no liberty to call her family, see her family, or even have a decision on her care or her money. So that's not fair. I think the courts in the United States is too controlling over our lives, for real. They dictate, like probate, if you don't have things in place, they control your wealth for your family. I think that's too much control. So therefore, yes, she should have some kind of responsibility of what she wants and what she don't want.
And she sounds just like she knows how to say what she's
definitely.
Like, and she sounds very clear of mind. We actually have some graphics showing her looking like she was fine. She went to her son's graduation, and people are questioning, like, wait a minute, hold on. She doesn't look as incapacitated as what people are saying.
Right.
So, but dementia is also a very strange disease. I can tell you that I've had many people of that in our family. And some days they're clear and some days they're not. Sometimes it can go weeks. Am I right, Mr. Connie? They can go weeks of clarity.
Right.
And then have a breakdown where they don't know.
Exactly. It's crazy. Being in healthcare, that's what happens. They have a lot of good days, and then there's days that they could have a lot of bad days. So it all depends. This could have been her good day, but I don't think that her liberty should be taken away.
I don't either. And we have so much more to unpack. We have some great information, but most of all, we want you to understand that this is a real live issue, not just with folk who got money, not with just Wendy Williams. We are talking about something that can happen very easily to you too. If someone wants something that you got, they're going to make sure that they're going to get it in certain ways, right? But we're going to continue our conversation right after this break.
Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes? If you want.
Yes, and guess what? I got mine right here. And it says Wendy Williams was worth millions and now has access to just $15. Fly Nubian Money. Now listen, if you want to make sure you get your notice every day. You just see that I got mine. It's so simple. All you have to do is text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948. 87948. Yes. Now listen, we actually are having a really deep conversation. I'm so conflicted about this whole thing because Tiara, you said that you had someone that you knew that had an uncle or a relative that they just kind of kept in the room. So do you think that families should have more say in cases like this, or should the courts remain in charge?
hard thing is I'm gonna use Wendy as the example. I feel like her family was abusive, right? Before she, she got into a marriage that was abusive. Somebody was taking advantage of her, which I think contributed to her kind of going off the deep end and using drugs and all of that. It just made her vulnerable. And I'm not saying that Kevin is the reason, but kind of Kevin is the reason. When you have a mistress and that have a baby, you taking his money, your money, he's taking your money and funding a situation over here with a woman, and you kind of have to stand back and just watch. And I think that did affect her mental health. I think it if she was already a drug user, it kind of like, I think it added to that. I think it enhanced those feelings of wanting to escape. And so unfortunately for Wendy, there I don't know if I would want her family. I don't know her family structure. I don't know if anybody's responsible enough to take on a $50 million guardianship situation and handle it with care and respectfully, right? Because when money comes into the picture, people change, things change, people change. And, I don't know, Lala. That's a great question. It's like, where do you go? How can there be a balance between what the courts enforce and then making sure that person isn't being locked down and in prison? Because at this point, this is just the situation. Like, she has to legally go through a process that could take years for her to get out of it. So she's stuck. She is trapped. She's being held hostage.
Would this be happening if she didn't have all that money, though? That's the question. Would they be going through all these great lengths to keep her separated and in solitude and all that stuff if she didn't have all this money?
No, baby. They've just put them in one of these horrible.
They would have family.
They would put them in these little pissy little care centers and just let them rot. No. So this is all about money. If you ain't got no money, guess where you get to go? You get to go to hell and live the rest of your life in hell. I've seen too much of it in these adult nursing homes, and that will make you go crazy, and that will make your quality of life go down. If you ain't got money, you're not worth it to them. So yeah, but she does have family that cares for her. So I want us to watch this video where her niece is actually standing up and talking about how she is like, I'm trying to get my auntie some help. So let's check this out.
A lot legal. And I was going to ask, who's putting out like the rumors? Like, because a couple of months ago we heard, well, Wendy's having this problem and she's incapacitated. Like,
they said she's cognitively impaired because of alcohol. She's incapacitated. She's suffering from dementia.
Obviously, it's not true. So do we know who's sending out those rumors to the press and to the blogs and all that? Do we know? Do we have any ideas?
I mean, allegedly, from what we're able to see, all of this comes from The Guardian.
Yep.
In terms of, hey, she's incapacitated, all that. That's allegedly all The Guardian. I'm only just saying allegedly, just, obviously to protect all sides. But
of course.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's not true. And the sad thing about it gives her the ability to keep doing this because we all feel like, oh, if that's the case, then yeah. But listening to Wendy speak and seeing Wendy a couple of weeks ago at her son's graduation, you understand that that's not the truth.
Listen.
Sound like she got somebody who cares about her and is really trying to get the world to see that something isn't right. So Moya, do you think Wendy's experience reflects flaws in how guardianships are handled here in the United States?
I think so for sure, because usually a conservatorship is either short-term, temporary, or permanent. So the question is, because it seems like hers is permanent. And the question is, how did this happen? And while we say it's money, I also believe it's fame. I believe because how do people even know about Wendy's situation to even seek her out, to even put this conservatorship on her? And so I believe it was somebody that preyed upon her, because Tiara brings up a good point. It's $50 million at stake here, but this can be addressed through trusts, through estate planning. Like, they can still handle this if they have trustworthy people that truly vouch for what's best for them.
I agree. Now, listen, we've got a good comment from Mo Williams, who says, if Wendy worked as a cashier at a dollar store, she would be living in a homeless camp and her family would not claim her. So, yes, it's all about the way you say, constant shmoney. So, Joe, I do have a question for you. Do you think that wealthy individuals are more vulnerable to systems like this situation with the financial guardianship?
I feel like if it was, I don't know, but I feel like if that was the case, we'd hear more stories like this. So like I have more questions than answers. I would like to know. I feel like Charlemagne. I watched the whole video, whole interview yesterday, and I feel like he asked, "How did she get into this situation?" But I don't know if I heard an answer. So it's like I really want to understand how she managed to get into this situation, because I feel like if this were the case, all our celebrities getting old would be in conservatorships, and having somebody in control of their money and movements. So, but what I do know is that Wendy Williams, being the woman that she is, a certain woman of power, I don't really rock with her, but I recognize that she's an icon in what she does. And so the anxiety and stress that I heard in her voice match what I would expect listening to her yesterday.
Yeah, I think we all could feel her struggle and her plea. I mean, it's like she definitely is asking for help. And, for her to even say something like she can't even get the water that she wants, like, and people laugh at that, but there's a certain brand of water she wants. Let her have her certain brand of water. She's earned it, but she just feels like whatever they want to give her is what she's going to get. But Wendy is not the only one, guys. Now listen, I want you to kind of check this out. There are other stars with money and status that have had this situation. So let's check out some of these cases that are across the board. Britney Spears is a very well-known one. She struggled from 2008 to 2021, covering both her personal and financial affairs. And it was established after a public mental health crisis. And the controversy around that was Britney claimed the conservatorship was abusive, sparking the Free Britney movement, which ultimately led to her gaining her freedom. And then people wanted to start fussing it and talking about her getting online live, doing these dances and showing herself, and people were saying she was crazy. But to me, she wasn't crazy. She was living through her teenage shit because she never got it. So she is a famous case. Go ahead, Miss Black Hollywood. I love it. I love it. I love it when you do this.
But I do think the conservatorship has driven Britney somewhere. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, the moves ain't her living out her. It's a little. There's a little something in that, right? There's a little some extra little something is in it. But I would just say her being her dad worked her like a workhorse. I saw
Yes.
the documentary on Netflix, and I was just like, wow. In this same situation, like Britney could not go to the bathroom without asking. She didn't have access to her money. Her dad had, he just, she was like, I'm tired. He was like, you're working Vegas. And she had to work like a horse for years while not having access to her money or not being able to say, this is what I want. This is my voice. This is, they just ignored her. And so I just thought that was really unfortunate. So I was glad to see her get her freedom, but it also feels like it damaged her mental health.
Yes, I believe so. I mean, that's a good question to ask. So, Minister Connie, how would you feel if you couldn't access your own money, even if it was supposed to be for your protection?
I would not be a nice person. I can tell you that. I don't like nobody messing with my money. Don't ask me about my money. I don't need nobody to count my money. So therefore, you will get a very nasty Minister Connie. But I think that it's not fair. Under the courts, in these situations of guardianship, they should get together with the family and the health providers and come together quarterly to say, and she should be there to give her input of what needs to happen. That's what needs to change. But the court appointed this woman, this attorney, to be over her estate, her health, her well-being. But is it her well-being? Because she's feel like she's in a prison. And God does not make us, he give us free choices, free will. She doesn't have a free will. So that is against her spiritually and her mental, her physical. It's against everything that, and nobody should have that, because therefore, who knows about this woman that is over her guardianship, is she has it all upstairs or not? She might have a vendetta against her or something. You never know.
You never know. You never know.
And you want to keep somebody's family away from you? That's not right.
I'd be more concerned about people keeping my family away from me than money.
Exactly.
You want the money, you can have it. I need my family.
You need
I need my family.
Yes.
I need my family.
Right.
But it seems like we got a whole lot more to unpack. This is a very interesting topic. And we're going to ask you some really critical questions. Now, listen, you know that we don't just talk at you. We don't talk at you. We love for you to talk back. Keep the comments coming. And tell us your experiences and how you feel about Wendy Williams. I've heard someone say something to me that was absolutely ridiculous. She's getting what she deserves. No one deserves this. So check yourself before you start trying to say people deserve something. But listen, this is something that we are seeing play out in the public. So let's take this short break and we'll be right back.
You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says, check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
Can you believe that we are almost done with January? And what does that mean? You have to get your money right. And if you have not sat down to look at your finances right now, maybe you spent too much at the ho phase in December, and you need to get your money together. You don't know where to start. We got you. Fly Nubian Money. You got it's so easy. You know the name of a show. So all you got to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Get all your resources. Let us help you. And then we have other resources that we'll be talking about later on this show as well. But the first start is your first step. Your first step is to go there and get the help that you need. And now listen, I want to pull up a couple of more cases that maybe you've known and maybe you don't know that happened in Hollywood that has to do with conservatorship. Let's check out a couple of other ones. We all have heard of Amanda Burns. And I loved her because I loved the show when she was on, all that. But she also had a lot of conservatorship. And if you look at her, she has really been through a lot. She's trying to get her life together. She's a former child star that was placed under conservatorship in 2013 following erratic behavior and mental health struggles. And the outcome of this is the conservatorship ended in 2022 after Amanda demonstrated improved stability. Now, she did that. She's actually gone to like makeup school, or she's doing something in that ways where she's not in the limelight anymore, but people keep trying to drag her back into that. But you can tell she's really been through something. And when we didn't just put up a not so nice picture, guys. She actually does look like that all the time. She has this sadness in her eyes. So what drove her to that? Was it really the mental break, or was it the conservatorship? So Constance, you and I, we deal with a lot of things like this in our real estate world. And we also are able to just guide people to the right type of resources. But how can people protect themselves from financial control as they age?
You know, living trusts are great because not only are you protecting your assets, but you're protecting yourselves. You could set up power of attorneys inside your living trust. You can establish medical directives, do not resuscitate. All of those things can be done while you are within your sound mind. So I would definitely recommend while you're still young, if you have any property anyway, you should have a living trust. But when you do that, 299trust.com, 299trust.com is a living trust that's only $300, and it has all of those things in there: the medical directives, the power of attorney, the living trust, the asset protection, all of that stuff is in there.
And that's a simple thing to do, and that's great advice. So that's something that you can do right now. So
what's that website again?
Yes,
I can put it in a banner.
299trust.com. I've used it. My parents got it. I remember I was filling it out for my mama, and I'm just clicking because it's like it takes you through a wizard. And she was like, wait, what's that? And I was like, oh, it's a DNR. She's like, no, don't not resuscitate me. Give me at least a month, 2 months before you pull the plug on me. So it has all of those details inside that living trust. Very extensive.
And it still helps you, but that right there, Constance, is really important. You still have an option to have that discussion with your family member. If you actually sit down and go through that with your family member, they already know if you're speaking it out to one another. Now, another thing that Wendy said is that she does not really know what medications they are giving her. So, Joe, how do you feel about her nursemaids refusing to tell her what her medications are for?
Yeah, that sounds highly illegal. I mean, like I said, I need to understand. I got more questions and answers. I need to understand, how is this happening? That sounds very, very illegal, to be pumping her full of medications where she doesn't understand. This whole thing sounds illegal to me. So I really need to understand what the legalities are, before I get to speaking out of turn. But I don't feel great about someone receiving medication that they don't know what it's for and what's going on with it. I don't feel great about that at all.
I don't either. It just seems very suspect to me. It seems like they're just kind of treating her like she's a child and that they know better than her. But there is another video that I want us to watch before we get into our next part of our conversation. Check this out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's coming. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To be clear, you can't leave. Like, they won't allow you to leave or have visitors, family members or not. So you can't even leave and take a walk if you wanted to, or take a trip or visit family members. They give you a difficult time for that, and family members can't visit you?
Excuse me, where I am, okay, you have to get keys to unlock the door, to press the elevator to go downstairs.
They had to call Sabrina to even see if I could go up there, even though Wendy was on the phone with me when I arrived, and she let them know, hey, this is my guest. I want to see her. I'll even come down. Please have someone bring me down. Because as she said, she can't get in the elevator nor leave her room without them unlocking things for her.
Wow.
They were aware of that, and everything was fine. I was waiting. They called Sabrina a couple times, and she didn't answer the phone when they called. And then all of a sudden, things just like flipped. These like men came out, and they're like, well, who are you? And what are you here for? I told them who I was. I told them I was there to see Wendy. They said, we don't have anyone here by that name.
Oh, wow.
They never said
So
to me.
Did you believe that?
No, I didn't make. Did I not make it upstairs? They basically told me I didn't even feel comfortable still being in the lobby the way that I was treated. Like, it was insane, especially being as though Wendy was on the phone with me when I walked in, and she spoke to the concierge herself and said, I want to see this person. She is here for me. And then these people are like, she's not even here. What are you talking about? And I'm like, I dealt with your colleagues that had me sign in for her. She's in your system, so you're going to tell me she's not here? Or did you speak to Sabrina as well? Because they said that was protocol. You have to call Sabrina first. We don't know Sabrina, and we don't know Wendy. She's not here. They said it to me multiple times.
Wow.
You know,
And it's scary. It's very scary.
Did you feel like she was in a safe space?
No, I feel like if you dealing with me like that, and she's on the phone with you telling you like, this is, you know what I mean? I want to see her. This is my people. God forbid something happens to her. Her family needs to get to her. And I act.
Very frightening. Moya, do you think Wendy's family, like her niece who is speaking, should have more say in her care?
Yeah, I definitely believe that she needs to have more say in her care. I think also the thing that's important about, and I think it's very interesting, and I think you touched on, or that comment touched on it, Lala, when it says that she deserves this. I think it's really interesting that it feels like Wendy's entire life, from the time that she was on radio, they attempted to silence her. They attempted to say what she's saying isn't true. Don't believe her. She's coming out with false, things that she's saying about these celebrities or whatever she was talking about at the time. And I think it's really interesting that she's now having this type of reality that's around her, this, as she calls it, this luxury prison, and how it's going to take the public to come out and really advocate for her so she can truly get what she's looking for, this level of freedom.
Yeah, and like I said, she still is able to tell people what she wants and what she doesn't want to. I mean, just the fact that she knows she wants a certain brand of water says a lot about, she has cognitive functions. So, Minister Connie, you're in the medical field. So how can families better support loved ones in situations like this without losing legal control?
They should go to court and get that lifted, or for the guardianship to have a say-so along with Wendy or whoever that person is that is under guardianship, to petition the courts to say, look, there's abuse here. Her rights is, her liberty is taken away. So I don't think that it should go to the point where you're completely can't see your family. You don't have any say so about what kind of water you want, or just not being locked up. She is in a jail. She really is in a jail, and that is not fair at all. So, and what I find that when you put people into a nursing home or something where they cannot have their family around, their belongings, what happens, they usually die. They usually leave here. They don't have anything to live for, So,
Right.
and you see it a lot. I remember one time when my mother had her leg operated on, and they wanted to put her in care for like a rehabilitation. And she asked me after a couple of days of being there, she said, "Are you leaving me here?" I said, "No, Mom, I'm not leaving you here." But she really thought I was leaving her there. So that's the first thing that they go to. Wait a minute, is this the end? I'm not going to be able to be around my children or anything like that. And a lot of times you find that they don't even come and see you. A lot of families don't even come and see you. Even in this healthcare field, they think that we are their total responsibility. They don't want to do anything. Some kids, not all kids, but a lot of children do not do anything for their parents. Nothing. You can't even call them. If we can't cover a case, oh, well, that's your responsibility, not mine. I'm like, wow, this is your mother.
Right.
It's
Right.
terrible.
Which is a
Black people
whole
saying that.
sadness in itself.
Minister Connie, is Black people saying that? Black people.
Yes. We have
I've
these
seen it.
children that has this entitlement that is crazy. They want everything, but they don't want to do no work for it.
Exactly. And then that's when a lot of people start crawling out of the woodworks, always
Yes,
trying
when
to pull
something
the string.
happens. Exactly.
So Mari says the family can file a complaint of elder abuse with the Department of Aging and the state's I don't know how to pronounce that. Ombudsman? I don't know. Minister Connie, you might need to help me with that one. I never heard that word.
Yeah,
To restrict a person's movement and
Ombudsman.
confine their
Yeah,
space.
they could file with them. And that's true. Every state has a ombudsman where they could go in and file because she is being abused. So there is something the family can do, even though they did start this trickle effect for her by abusing her account with Wells Fargo, and they put a freeze on it. And this is how this whole thing came about, of how her money was drizzling down. And that was a good thing for Wells Fargo, because she could be totally broke right now if they didn't do something. They froze her account. And the thing is that it just caused all these problems because of misuse of her account.
So they did at least have a lookout for her.
A lookout, yeah. That was
interesting.
It was a good thing, and it was a bad thing, but it was a good thing because, from what they said, that millions was taken out within a short period of time. And you know what? When you go to the bank and put $10,000 in, they want to question you on everything about that $10,000. What is it for? What you doing with it? So if you're doing millions of dollars, that's a red flag right there.
There's a ding, ding, ding going off somewhere.
Right, exactly.
So, Tiara, do you consider this? Do you consider what Wendy's going through false imprisonment?
False imprisonment? I think she's definitely being, I think there's an isolation happening because they don't want her family to have access and have say so. You put her away and just say, oh, she can't think for herself. She's fine. She's being taken care of. She has good sheets. She's in a luxury place. So she's being taken care of in a good way. But actually, we're finding out all of this. But I think that she is in a prison. And I wanted to just say that there is a method to this madness with keeping her away, away from everyone. Not necessarily, I mean, Connie said something about death, but I was just thinking, it could also drive her crazy. Now she has these 7 meds when she started with 2. right? And so she doesn't know what she's taking. I just think it's all by design. And I just wanted to say something. I know we've kind of come away from this, but people saying that Wendy is getting what she deserves and this is her karma. I think we need to put some respect on Wendy Williams' name, what she's built, how hard she's worked to get to where she is, to have millions of dollars. Wendy Williams is the first Shade Room. She started gossip culture in the in the 90s. She was in all the most of y'all can't even live without gossip. Y'all on the Shade Room every day looking to gossip about somebody's life. This lady started that. So I just think we should put some respect on her name, regardless of if you can agree with how she came on. I just think she was a cultural icon. I think she's an engineer of the entertainment industry, and I think she deserves her respect.
Agree. I agree. She is a pioneer for what she's done. Like I'm not really a big fan of hers, but I respect what she did, period. She's broken a lot of barriers, especially for women and especially in entertainment. So listen, there is another star I want you to pay attention to. There's a Star Trek star that also ended up getting into conservatorship. And we love her. Nichelle Nichols, oh my gosh, she was the best. I just love her. The Star Trek actress was placed under a conservatorship in 2018 due to dementia and elder abuse concerns. So the controversy is that her son and a former manager were involved in a legal battle over her care and finances. All right. So, and then let's not even talk about John Amos, but we're going to come back and have some more conversation about this. As you can see, this is not just Wendy that has to deal with this type of conservatorship. We'll be right back.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and review so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
Now, I seem to recall that there were some people during this week who said they wanted to come on the show. Well, I'm not sure if you got that magic email or not, Tiara. Did you get any emails? All right, then y'all all talk. Now, listen, this is your opportunity. Now, go on and send that email. It's Friday. Be bold. Go on, be bold. You want to be on this show. As you can see, we have deep and wonderful conversations, and we have many different points of view. And if you want your point of view to be heard, hey, we're here for that. So email us at info@realvirtual.net. Now, listen, you also know you got a business that you're running, right? You can't do everything all the time. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help so that you can be concentrating on something else that may be a little more important. So all you have to do is email us at our magic email, fairy dust, ching, 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 info@realvirtual.net. Let me spell it. info@RELVIRTUAL.net. Simple. All right. So I do have some questions. So I'm going to ask you, Constance. Wendy claims that she is fearing retaliation for speaking out, all right, and speaking out about her guardianship. Do you think people in guardianships have enough rights to speak up?
Well, obviously, she has power. So the guardian has power because she did the interview on the Breakfast Club yesterday. They told her that she may not be able to go see her dad for his 94th birthday. They also advised her that that's why your cats is gone. The cats that she loved, her cats, she's a cat lady. So they took her cats, they punished her. So that she is in fear of the retaliation. But I also wanted to point out that when you think about this whole idea of this documentary that came out, this Sabrina lady, what's her name? Sabrina Massey or something like that. She she's the one that encouraged Wendy to do the documentary. She told her to do it. She signed the documents. But then when she did it and it painted her in a bad light, now she wanted to backpedal, and now she's suing the networks that put her, because now they're saying, they looked at it, and as they did the documentary, they were saying, wait, this looks like abuse. So now she's saying, oh, Wendy didn't give permission, blah, 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 when she was the one that forced it in the first place. So you know something sinister is going on, because when she did appear in the documentary, how did she appear? Drugged, incapacitated. They made her look like she was incapable. But what it shone a light on was their lack of care. I think some things are going to start to unravel. But I think you just got to follow the money. So they need to do a forensic audit on that account. And we're going to see what's really good when they do that.
Baby, you said it right. You need to follow the money, because that's where all the answers are going to be. Benjamin has a good question. Benjamin said, why doesn't her family get good lawyers? Moya, do you think that's a problem? Do you think they need to do better about fighting back with their own attorneys?
I think it is important that they do fight back with their own attorneys. I know that Wendy's attorney came out today, or the attorney that is, what is her name, Roberta Flan, came out and said that the A&E documentary, she had some contentions with that. So it looks like they just have to kind of get everything together in terms of what I see.
Yeah, I think that they need to get together and really start working on getting the right representative state for themselves, because this lady's an attorney. Her conservator is an attorney as well. Like I said, she know all the loopholes. So Joe, do you think guardianship sometimes crosses the line into controlling people's lives unnecessarily?
Well, I never heard a story where it didn't. Every time one of these stories come up, it seems like it's inappropriate and crossing the line. So I like to throw me some examples of some guardianships that actually worked out, because this don't seem like it's a good plan for anybody, especially somebody that got, she got a niece, she got a son. She seems to have family that, is not really into this. So again, I'm going to keep asking, why did she choose this? How did she get into this conservative? Like, is it she was forced into it, or did she sign something somewhere that says, when you become incapacitated or seemingly incapacitated, I'm going to have control of your finances? Because it's like, we want to get her good lawyers, but it sounds like, she can't even get good water. So how are you going to pay for the lawyers?
Exactly. Like, really, at some point, I don't know. It's like the chicken or the egg question, like how do you stop this? Where does it begin? But Minister Connie, do you think that Wendy's diagnosis of her front temporal dementia and aphasia could complicate her ability to fight for her independence?
Well, that's a tough question. I think so. It can be, because it is going to get worse. It's not going to get better. Yeah. And I think that what probably escalated it was the drug abuse and the alcohol. Because from what I read, is that she had drinks every night for years. And so therefore, you can't keep on abusing your brain and think it's going to still function. It's not. So I don't think it's going to get any better. So if they don't do it now, it could get worse. Do it right now while she's in this state right now, where she's there. And she, because later she's not going to be there at all.
Yeah. And then she won't be able to speak up at all. And with dementia, you really never know how, because dementia is not a textbook thing. Dementia can manifest in many different ways. You can be mean. Nice people who've always been nice their whole life can turn out to be mean.
Very nice.
And then sometimes they go back into childhood and live in that childhood. So there's really no textbook. You never know what direction it's going to take. So Constance, how do you think that the stigma around mental health affects situations like Wendy's?
Of course, the stigma around mental health affects this. I think also, though, is that systems, when you talk about systems, every system in this country is fucked up. Sorry, Minister Connie. But you think about the prison systems, fucked up. The adoption and the foster care system, fucked up. The justice system, fucked up. Everything is fucked up. So, there's nothing that's ever like balance. It's always extreme. Either, people are getting away with stuff and it's mostly white people, or you have, look at CPS, fucked up. You have where there's an overabundance of management or mismanagement in those systems. So there just needs to be an overhaul. I think we just need to throw the whole United States away and start over.
I think so.
I do not disagree with you on that. And, the things that we are seeing here in America, we forget that we are still a very young country. And if you look through history, you see that all the other countries have gone through some shiznit. This is really a hard time for America, and it does need a complete overhaul. And I think that we are seeing a lot of the things play out now. That's not being political. That's just being the truth. So we still have a few more things to talk about. So we'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your brilliant business idea and turn it into income? So my name is Athena Gardner. I'm a CPA, wealth coach, and also a Fly Nubian Money host. And I am partnering with the Fly Nubian Money Club to bring you this exclusive training called Idea to Income, how to supercharge or elevate your current business and using the power of AI. So in this training that is exclusive only to the Fly Nubian Money Club, you will learn how to take your brilliant business idea and turn it into a money-making machine or elevate a current business if you have one already. You will learn the AI tools that will help you supercharge your business, save time and slash costs. And then you will also have a plan and a strategy and how to execute that flawlessly. So if you're interested in that, please be sure to sign up at the flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I will see you in the training.
When I say I get excited about this, I get excited about this. Makes me tingle. Listen, if you want to get some education and get some good training, get some great advice from some great experts, queens are on board. Yes. All you need to do is sign up at flynubianmoneyclub.com. Now, our next session is with our goddess Athena, and she is going to teach you some new tricks and tools about AI. And you better get in on this game, because that is the way it is going. Don't you sit back and start complaining about AI gonna take everything over there. You better learn to harness that tool, and you will be able to do that because she is an expert at this. Now, listen, the last session we had was with Queen. She taught you how to get them 7 shmoney's. Okay? So you don't want to miss that either. Out of sight training, you got to get in. And then before that, you had me. And I was teaching you how to buy real estate, how to do it. And not only in the United States of America, but worldwide. Because I want you to remember, you are a worldwide citizen. You're not just a citizen of one country. All right. So go on and explore your options. But here's the cool thing, guys. It's in a free trial. Okay. Simple. But you can't get to it if you don't sign up for it. So sign up at flynubianmoneyclub.com today, right now. Cling, cling, chick, get ready. All right. Now listen. This is what drives me crazy. Now, we have already talked about, how we can do things to protect ourselves with living wills and of that nature. But not only in living wills, you need to give directives, right? Constance mentioned that. So I'm going to ask you, Moya, when it comes to that, is that something that I'm gonna throw y'all all in the bush with this question. How many of us here, starting with you, Moya, have you taken care of your business? Have you done your directives and what you want for something that could possibly happen to you?
Yeah, I'm really glad that Constance shared the website that she shared. I think it's very important that we all truly look at what we need to do for ourselves to make sure that we have our directives and everything squared away, because at any given point, this can happen to any one of us.
That's right. And you never know. You don't have to be elderly to have this happen. You can be in your 20s. You can be in a car accident. You can have a brain aneurysm. You can have anything, any age. So you need to be prepared. Minister Connie, have you done your paperwork?
Most definitely, yes. I just set up a living trust for myself. So I have a trust for my grandchildren and my great grandchildren. So definitely, I have a directive. I have it all. So I don't want anything in probate. I want to control. I want to control my money. So
Damn it, the kids can't get nothing. Kids, you just skipped over the kids.
oh yeah, they grown. They better get it in their own. I'm looking out for the babies. This is no lie. I have given so much to my kid and my grandson. You know, I became a grandmother very young. I have a 33-year-old grandson. So therefore, him and I work together. So he's getting his, believe me. So
you're thinking about them future generations. How about you,
right.
You ready?
That's right. He said your children.
That's right.
That's right.
You know,
I just hope my mom ain't listening to you because she already talking that talk. But I want her to listen. I don't want her to take your advice.
So, Joe, what about you? You have your paperwork in order?
Yeah, I think. I've filed with the state of Pennsylvania to get a conservatorship on Minister Connie, and when that comes through, I'll be straight. Apparently, this living trust, we got all kind of stuff going on. So when that comes through, I'll be straight. Don't worry about me.
I love it, Constance.
You get all the water you want, Mr. Connie. All the water you want.
Yeah, no, actually, I had to redo mine. So I have one, sold some property, just bought another property. So I just have to update it. And then I had to change the name.
Key word though, update.
Yeah.
Yeah, key word. How about you, Tiara?
I have to put it all together. Constance reminded me in the training that she did last Saturday, which you should watch, that we all need to put, and I think she even has forms or paperwork for it, but just putting it all together just in case something happens. So I've been purchasing all these policies and doing all this stuff. But when I think about it, I'm like, dang, I need to send an email to somebody to just say, hey, Penn Mutual, Gerber, here's where all the bones are buried. And so I just got to put it together. And I haven't put my trust together yet, just to keep it all real, but I will. I'm going to put it all together. I promise.
So 2 things on my website, ConstanceCarter.com. If you go under books, there's a personal information organizer. That's a free download. You can just go there and just download it and just put all your stuff in one place. That's one thing. The other thing is you really should have a professional trust, but you can even do a living trust with ChatGPT, mother effing T. So that's actually how I'm actually updating my trust. I have the original trust, but I'm looking at that, and you can look at different trusts. You should have an attorney, sure, but I don't feel like I need one, so I'm updating mine with ChatGPT along with the trust that I currently have, and just kind of like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to add this, but I have a guideline with the original trust. But you could actually really do a living trust. You could say, ChatGPT, I live in the state of Maryland. I have this property. I have this many children. This is how I want these properties disposed of. Then you could say, this is who I want to be my power of attorney. This is what I want to happen with my medical directives. Should I become incapacitated, this is what I want to happen. I have this bank account, this, and here's my insurances. Like just putting all this stuff in the living trust document. Then it'll say, at the end, it'll say, this is a trust document. It'll put it in the form of a trust. Make sure you have the state, and then it'll have the signature and who needs to sign. The notary, where you do the notary seal and everything. And as long as that bad boy is notarized, it's ironclad. You just have to make sure that you record the deed for your properties. That's the thing. And then make sure that somebody knows where it's at, because now you have this recorded deed. We know that the property is in the name of the trust, but where's the trust? So you have people scrambling for the trust in the trash, trust then shredded. We don't know what the directives of the trust are. So you still need that. So make sure you have a soft copy, have a hard copy. I have this little this fireproof thing over here. Put a copy in there, but also email it and make sure whoever is your beneficiary has a copy of it.
Exactly. That is
That's
a
great.
wealth of information right there. So
That's
if you
great.
did not catch all of that, I urge you, once we are done today, and you can see all of our shows on YouTube, you can go listen to us on Spotify, then you go back and you write all that stuff down. Then don't just write it down, y'all. Because Constance and I actually see a lot of the times when we have to put these properties on the market, that is a God-given mess because people don't know where nothing is. So she just gave you a wealth of information. Now, listen, we have really had great conversation today. We hope that you have actually learned something today because that is our goal too. We do talk about what's going on in pop culture, but we also turn it around where we can help you improve your financial quality of life as well. And just to say, y'all, we talked about how, it can happen at any age. Wendy Williams is only 60 years old. Okay. That 60. Honey, 60 is the new 30. So listen, she's struggling now, but it is time for us to wind this down. So I am calling for final thoughts and where we can find you. Let's start with you, Tiara.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that right away, but I'll go first. I'm on the fence about Wendy's condition. I do feel like it has been a years of drug use and all of those things, but I don't know if I feel like she's as bad as they say because of what she has and who she has around her. When I think about her, I just think that it's been, unfortunately, a life of having really bad people around you, even from your people just abusing you in different ways. There was a news article a couple years, maybe like a year ago, of her son spending over $100,000 in Uber Eats, and her husband wants to marry her again after divorcing her to get alimony to divorce her again. So there's all these bad people that have been in her life, and it just made me think about my own self and the people how important it is to choose the right people around you that have good intentions. And I know her esteem hasn't always been the best, so she's taken what she could get. She's allowed it, and just to have love. And I don't know, I pray that she's feeling love from somewhere or from somebody, so that would be my thought for Wendy. I'm sending all my love to her, sending my prayers to her, and just really hoping this situation can come to an end with her being out of this conservatorship and getting to live freely. Even if she is a little a little loopy from everything happening, I don't know if I believe that she is completely incapacitated. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood. I am the co-creator of the Fly Nubian Money Club, where I want to this year help you level up in a way that you never have before. I am bringing in top experts bi-weekly to help you just level up, like Constance says. Last Saturday, she was there. Lala was there. We have Athena Gardner coming, who is going to teach us about AI, and the story goes on and on and on. And I'm just going to continue to bring women in that can change your life. And so please join today. Join us at flynubianmoneyclub.com. Let me bring up the title. And if you're interested in working with me, I'm also a serial creative entrepreneur. I help entrepreneurs, with branding and writing. You want to write a script, you want to write a book, you want to, whatever creative thing that you've been dying to do, I want to help you do that. So hit me up. I'm at Miss Black Hollywood, MSBLECK. Hollywood across all platforms.
Level up with Miss Black Hollywood. Make sure you stalking Chicken Hawk because she's got a lot of good stuff for you. Miss Moya, what is your final thoughts and where can we find you?
So one of the things that I think it's important for us to recognize is that we have to truly plan. We always think like, oh, these are rich people problems, or these are issues that I wouldn't encounter, when in reality, it's possible that we can. And so one of the things that I've noticed as a tax professional is that sometimes we just need planning. You just need to take a step back and say, okay, what is everything that I have and where do I want to go? And so this year, I really want you to do that with your taxes. Tax season is now getting underway, and I really am focusing on helping parents who have kids that are high school age and that they are applying for college, one of the biggest things about college is that it's the FAFSA. That's what dictates how much money you get. But a large part of the FAFSA is your taxes, and that requires a level of planning. So before you do your taxes and you have a high schooler this year, I want you to reach out to me, DM me on Instagram at moya.business, and that way you and I can set up a free 15-minute call. That way we can talk about what's needed for you to really focus on with your taxes and also making sure that you get what's needed for your financial aid. And when you have the call with me, as a bonus, I will give you a list of scholarships that your children and your child, if it's more than one, if you have twins, if you have two kids going into college, that way you have it. And this is for any high school student because your taxes, the FAFSA uses 2 years prior. So that's really important to know.
Go on and write that list, Moya.
Baby, she got a list for you.
I do.
Not only is she gonna help you with your taxes, she's got lists for you that you need. Listen, you need to get in with the experts and someone who is really going to take good care of you. Look at her. Look at her. You can take so hard, right? She's going to take care of you. So direct message her on her Instagram. Joe, what are your final thoughts and where can we find you?
Yeah, I'll be real quick. I just I know that people listen to this show and feel some level of anxiety or feeling overwhelmed, especially when we talking all this finance stuff. But I want you to slow yourself down and take advantage of some of the things that get thrown out here. You know, I personally came into this space and it was like woo 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 woo. They were just talking way over my head. But when I slowed down and listened to what they were saying, you know, I grabbed a lot. I grabbed a lot of game. And you know, you do have to sometimes pay these women for the information that they've acquired over time, but they throw out a lot of free gems in the middle of it. And, you know, so do I, you know what I mean? I contribute. But I really want everybody to, you know, I'm joking. I joked about, you know, starting a conservatorship on Minister County, but I have taken care of a lot of my business, you know. You know, I've set up wills, I've set up trust and things like that to make sure that something like this doesn't happen to me. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, you know, go back and just, you know, take it slow, you know, take it slow. Do one thing that you heard, take one piece of advice that you heard, and then you can move on to them. You don't have to do it all at once. So I want you to, you know, not feel so overwhelmed. And, you know, you can also join me on Tuesday nights because I'm going to do this because if I don't, my producer's going to cuss me out. We're talking vulnerability is the new sexy. And the next episode, we're going to talk about breaking generational curses. And that's more than financial. You know, that's parenting, that's marriage and relationships, all the things that we've been handed down generationally that we need to break. So look forward to that next Tuesday on the Boss Network at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if you're looking to book a session with me or a consultation, you can book me at realuconsulting.com. You can book right from the website, and we can talk for 15 minutes and see if, you know, we can change your life.
I sing a good song too. The Boss Network. Y'all need to make sure that you go and spend some time with Joe because Joe has a lot for you. I'm excited for you to be on that network, Joe. And listen, he actually has a website that you could go to as well, realuconsulting.com. What do I say? Stock and chicken hawk. Go on over there and see what he's got for you because you know what? There is nothing wrong with getting help when you need to get help. I am a firm believer of that, and I've also lived in it myself. When things get a little heavy and sometimes you just need some help or a listening ear that can help you, then Joe is the person. Joe is the person. So reach on out to him. So, Mr. Connie, what is your final thoughts and where can we find you?
I want to petition everyone to keep Wendy in prayer. We all need it, right? But I would say this, get your house in order. The Lord tells us to keep our house in order. So get your house in order. I don't care if you only have a few $100s, have a will, do probate. I find that there's 3 areas that we need to really be focused on. And one is, well, let me say this. 3 areas where your money could go right out the door: helping family, the IRS, especially if you're a business person, and spending more than you make. So don't do those 3 things, but get your house in order and get your directive for your health and a living will. Because the thing is that you don't want the government or the government of the United States to take care of your business. You want to take care of it for yourself. So that's my take on things. And you can reach me at ConnieSpearman.com. I have a book out. It's called Lord, I Hear You. This book is great because there's a lot of miracles that happen. It's a lot of testimonies about what God can do for you. So get that book. Easy read, wonderful book. Lord, I Hear You by Connie Spearman, Minister Connie Spearman. Thank you.
See, we have upliftment here as well. So you want to make sure that you do go and check out Minister Connie's book, but also make sure that you go to her website as well. Listen, we all smart. We all got our names in these websites. It's real easy for you to go and check her out. Okay. So make sure that you go and check out what she has for you today as well. Now, last but not least, we have our beautiful Constance. Constance, what's your final thoughts and where can we find you? Can't hear you.
Sorry about that. I was going to say, I'm just glad that the conversation took a turn about your asset protection, about your legacy protection. That is the most important piece of the conversation. I really, truly believe that. If you don't learn anything from Wendy Williams, from James Brown, from John Singleton, from Aretha Franklin, from Prince, is to make sure while you are in full sound mind and body, that you have all of your business in order. I was just thinking today, because I have my back is hurt. My back has been hurt for 3 days. And I was like, I wonder if I have a certain kind of insurance, like a disability insurance, in case I become incapacitated in some way. And I do. I had to go look at my insurance to make sure that if something happened to me, that, my kids will be good and everything will be good while I'm still living. But you need all of those things. And just like I said, if you can't afford $2.99, go on ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like $20 a month. But if you can't afford $2.99 or getting an attorney, have something. A trust is ironclad protection. A will can and will be contested. That's what we say, that if you die with a will, your stuff will go to probate court. That's costly. It's time consuming. You're at the mercy of everyone else. But if you have a will and you have all of your directives laid out, ain't nothing nobody could do. So make sure you do that. Just like I mentioned about the personal information organizer, I see a bunch of people have gone there already just to download. It's a free document where you can just have everything everywhere. Once you put everything on this document, email it to somebody that you trust, that you love, maybe that the person's going to be the beneficiary of your trust. Google is free. And so all of these things can be Googleized. And so I just recommend that you just, if you don't understand, I have information on the Grow Your Money Club. Inside the Grow Your Money Club, I talk about all of this. I help you set up your trust. I help you set up your business. I help you with real estate, invest in real estate. I help you prepare your credit, get business credit, write books. All of that is inside the Grow Your Money Club. So I have that, the Grow Your Money podcast every day. Tiara be joining me a couple of days of the week. We talk about really great things and how to grow holistically. She said, get in the gym, the Grow Your Money, GYM, get in the gym club. I like that, Tiara. Thank you. And then I have the Net 7 Collective, where I help Black women from all over the country. In fact, on our show today at 11 o'clock, we had one of the women from the Net 7 Collective, who's also an author, a co-author of this great book that we'll be releasing soon. It's called Unbreakable. And she's an attorney, a prominent attorney in Washington, D.C., just magnificent, smart lady. But she was part of the Net 7 Collective. If you want to be a part of the Net 7 Collective and you want to learn how to grow your wealth and grow your net worth to 7 figures, please go to bookwithconstance.com. Guess what? I do coaching too. Look at that. Look at that. So if you're a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, white, Black, Hispanic, or whatever, call me and I can do some one-on-one strategies with you. I am more than happy to coach you one-on-one. If you don't have time to be in a cohort, or perhaps you can't afford it, book me for one-on-one coaching. Go to my website, constancecarter.com.
That's why I can't give Constance the control of the back. What is you just put up a graphic?
I just
Listen,
did that right now. I was like,
you
ooh,
better not do that.
you
But
like
I'm
that,
okay
huh?
with it. Oh my God, la.
Well, shit, listen, I don't even have to add to that. She done told you what to do and gave you a graphic to do it. So I have no control over that. But you know how to get to it now, don't you? So
Oh
make
my
sure that you
goodness.
stock it, chicken, hog, Constance
Yes.
Carter as well. All right, here's my final thoughts. Listen, you cannot depend on other people to have your best interest at heart. It is critical, it is crucial, it is dire need for you to make sure that you want people to know how you want your life to be played out. Now, listen, we all like to think about living long and being healthy and not having to worry about these things, but the fact of the matter is it's more common than you think. So it is worth you to face your mortality sometimes right in the face and say, listen, this is how I want things to go, and to leave a directive for the people that you love or the people that you trust to step in and take care of the wishes that you want in your life. We all have resources for you. So I have things that on my website as well that you can download for free, a personal budget expense thing that is free, because listen, you need to know at least where your budget is, right? But I am also going to take this time to also continue to let you know that the wildfires are still rushing through Los Angeles, California. There are many people that still need your help, and maybe you don't know where to go to give that help. So on my website, www.laurakey.net, there is a button right at the top that says LA resources. And that's going to help you know where to donate, what people need, if you have a place that they could stay, all sorts of things. So please make sure you go there, because guess what? There's one area that is not being talked about that I am always going to call your attention to, is that is Altadena. Altadena is historically Black area. And a lot of the times when you are hearing media talk, they're not talking about Altadena. So go and see what you can do, donate to the Red Cross, and make sure that you listen to the right news. Now, listen, before we go, I do want to take a few minutes just to say thank you to some of our regulars and those who always make our show wonderful. We have Big Mac, we have Black Lexicon, we have Morpheus joined today. We have Double A, and we also have Deborah Win-Win. Deborah, we know we see you. C. White was here today. Linda Veal, we appreciate you. You know why? Because you could have spent time somewhere else, but you chose to spend it with us. Now, listen, Wendy Williams' story isn't just about a media icon. It's about a flawed system that can strip people of their rights under the guise of protection. As we've discussed today, guardianships can sometimes help, but often hurt, especially when financial and personal freedoms are at stake. So let's continue to have these conversations to ensure that systems meant to protect us don't end up doing more harm than good. Now, remember, it's not just about Wendy. It's about how it could happen to anyone. So thank you for joining us today on Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. It is Friday, everyone. So we wish you a blessed weekend. We will see you Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be blessed. Bye.